Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Last week was absolutely terrifying. Upsets everywhere. 2-2 on Patreon. 2-3 on the money picks in YouTube. But don't get your head down. These weeks happen. It was absolute craziness. Who could have predicted some of that madness? Let's get to this week. Let's get our money up. Week 7 coming up. First game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. Browns are plus 6.5. I'm going with a tentative Browns cover, Ravens to win. That Browns performance against the Patriots was one of the more pathetic performances of this NFL season. Bailey Zappi was throwing the guys with 15, 20 yards of space without exaggeration. I think the Browns do bounce back. Denzel Ward should be back in the mix, but we also have to talk about the Ravens. Can they cover a spread? We know they can dominate a game, but I'm not even sure they can win a game at this point. The way they choked away that game against the New York Giants, it's something to worry about. It's something to maybe make you just question everything about the Ravens. I think the Ravens win this game by 3 or 4 points, but do they cover the spread? No. And I'm not seeing much improvement from Cleveland. They seem to be getting worse every single week. With that being said, though, I think the Ravens give them a few big mistakes. Browns keep it close. Browns cover. Ravens win. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Francisco 49ers. Chiefs are -3. Money. Chiefs to win in the cover. And last week, we went with the Bills, and the Bills were able to pull that out. But I stepped away from that game more impressed with the Chiefs. I'm not saying the Chiefs are better than the Bills, but I was impressed with some of the things the Chiefs did, specifically defensively. And I got to tell you, I know San Fran's got excuses with the injuries. Bosa was out on defense along with 4 or 5 other starters, but I'm not seeing enough fluidity out of this 49ers offense. They're not running it all that well. And we know if you stop the run and you say, Jimmy, you got to beat us, you got to pass the 2 damn good wide receivers. He's just not capable at a consistent clip. Spagnuolo and this Chiefs defense, they're playing inspired ball. They don't got a lot of dogs. They don't got a lot of stars, but yeah, they get stops. Yeah, they're able to force turnovers. Give me the Chiefs to win in the cover. And then I'm not sure this 49ers injury situation on defense gets any better. And I actually see this pushing up to -3.5, -4 for the Chiefs. Get this one in early. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Bucs at the Carolina Panthers. Bucs are -10.5. I got the Bucs to win in the cover. I'm just digging this grave. Bucs covering hasn't been something common this year, and it doesn't seem like they even have any intentions of winning games, let alone covering spreads. But this Panthers team, they gave their B+, A- effort against the Rams, and you saw what that did. It covered absolutely nothing. And I'm sick of talking about the Buccaneers' offensive line, but that offensive line really is horrid. That's why this isn't a money pick, because I think there's going to be a different level of focus from the Buccaneers this week. I think they come in. They don't have to play Mike Tomlin. They're playing Stevie Wilkes. I think that helps. Brady goes for over 300. Give me the Bucs to win in the cover, although that 10.5 makes you want to stay away. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Smith, at the Cincinnati Bengals. Falcons are +6, +6.5 on some books. I got the Falcons to cover, Bengals to win. And You know, Cordero Patterson isn't coming back this week for the Falcons, but the Falcons team just does the little things right. They get in the pistol, they pound you, they use play action. Pitts and Drake London are getting separation the few times they're called upon. And I saw cracks in the Cincinnati team. Fine, we won money. Fine, Jamar Chase and Burrow came through for us at the end. But the way this Bengals defense let the Saints offense run the ball, Saints really haven't been running it well at all this whole year. And you just see stampede after stampede. 3rd and 12 converted by Andy Dalton after 3rd and 12 against the Bengals defense. Bengals really should have won that game against the Saints by 10 to 14 points. They made us sweat unneedingly. But man, when I'm looking at this Falcons team, the defense has improved. Lorenzo Carter is finally helping out Grady Jarrett. And I think the Falcons get a little bit of pressure on Burrow. They're not going to blitz. They're not going to get a ton of pressure, but I think they get just enough. A.J. Terrell will stay close to Jamar Chase, giving the Falcons to cover. Bengals win by a late field goal. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, at the Dallas Cowboys. Lions are +7. Money, money, money. Money. I got Lions to cover. Making a money pick. Listen, Lions to cover, not to win this game. Although I would not be surprised if they do win this game. This is the upset of the week from Mr. Upset himself. I do think the Cowboys take this with a late field goal, but this has one possession game written all over it for me. Lions are getting healthy. Chark should be back. St. Brown should be at full strength. And the one thing you need to contain this Cowboys defense is you need good offensive line play. And that's one thing Dallas has, and that's certainly one thing Detroit has. It's maybe the only part of their team that is strong. And I'm not liking some of the stuff that Jarrett is putting out there. He's saying maybe Dak will play this week. That doesn't make me feel too comfortable. I feel like they're a better team. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not saying Cooper's better than Dak, but I feel like the type of football they have to play, ball control, throw it only 22 to 23 times, run it with Zeke, run it with Pollard. I feel like that's better with Cooper managing the game. And then you want to just throw Dak right back into the action after him spending 5-6 weeks on the sideline. It's just something smells funny there. It smells like Jerry sticking his nose in. And I think Dan Campbell has his boys motivated. After what happened against the Patriots, I think the Lions come out here with vogue, with verb, and with physicality. Lions cover to make it a damn money pick. Cowboys win the game late. Next game, we got Thursday Night Football. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Arizona Cardinals. Saints are +1.5. I'm going Saints to win in the cover. But this isn't one to bet by any means. Cardinals, as far as I'm concerned, are getting DeAndre Hopkins back. That's going to make an enormous leap. And that Cardinals defense played really good against a pretty decent Seahawks offense. But here's the thing for me. I don't think Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury are on the same page. I think that relationship is just self-destructing in front of our very eyes. They can't pick up a blitz. They can't call a play. You get 3 or 4 delay of games from them every single game. Just something's messy there. And you saw that Saints defensive line have a pretty good game against Burrow and the Bengals. I expect the Saints defense to come back strong. We'll see if Lattimore plays. I like the Saints to win in the cover. I just think there's more physicality on the Saints than the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a bit too finesse, and we know adding D-Hop to the mix helps Kyler Murray a lot, but I don't think it'll help enough. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Smash that like button. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Jacksonville Jags. Giants are +3. Giants to win in the cover. You guys know I wanted to go with the Jags, right? You already know my DNA, how I look at football teams. But this Jags team, there's some things I'm not fully understanding. I'm not fully understanding the sloppy play. I'm not fully understanding why they're not getting a better pass rush. And I'm not fully understanding why guys like Shaq Griffin can't cover anyone. They can't cover anything, man. And the Giants' offense isn't anything to write home about, but I just feel like the Giants are making big plays in the big money areas of the game. Late third quarter, late fourth quarter, this Giants team seems to spring alive and pull some shit out of the hat. There is no science to this one. I think the Jags are a better team. I think the Jags got a better O-line. I think the Jags got a better D-line. And I think the Jags should have a better defense. But are the Jags getting good enough coaching on that defensive side? I mean, we saw fucking Matt Ryan throw it over 50 times and win a game against the Jags. And that's where I'm out of ideas. I'm just tearing up the fucking paper, tearing up the science sheets. Give me Giants to win in the cover. Next game, we're staying in the AFC South. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are -2.5. Titans winning the cover. Normally these two teams split these games, but like we had it the first time on Patreon, give me Titans. And I'm taking them at home with the -2.5. I am surprised Vegas thinks the Colts are 1.5 better than the Titans, because the Colts are terrible. Shaq Leonard won't be back. I feel like you can run the ball against the Colts. You saw what the Jags did to them. Etienne, Hasty. You saw how many yards. I think they put up over 200 yards rushing against the Colts last week. I mean, good luck. Good luck, sweetheart, if you can't stop the run and you got King Henry rolling into his home stadium after a bye week. Now, the Titans have their issues. You can stretch the field against their secondary. But like I said, like it's Alec Pierce, Pittman, Matt Ryan, and the offensive line that isn't too good at pass blocking, what you want to invest in. I got Titans to win in the cover, borderline money pick. Check Patreon later in the week. I got respect for Jonathan Taylor. He'll be back. Yeah, and the Colts always come on at this time of the year, but I'm not seeing why this isn't a money pick. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Washington no-names, Red Warriors, whatever the hell you want to call them. Packers -5.5. I got the Packers to win. No names to cover. It's looking like we're getting Heineke. And let's remember, Heineke is even more of a turnover risk than Wentz. And that's the one reason why I think Green Bay wins this game. But I don't think it's going to be easy for Green Bay. They're not running the ball. And it seems like they stay in shotgun 3-4 wide receiver sets the whole game. And they just don't got the talent or personnel to do it, man. And Cobb gets injured quick. Christian Watson gets injured quick. And even when they're out in the field, no one's getting separation. I said 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Packers have no explosion, and then, of course, people took to the keyboards and comment section and tried telling me they had the most explosive plays in the league. That's obvious a lie. They lost the game against the Jets because Bryce Hall had more explosion than any other player they could do, and the Packers are looking really, really sloppy. I think they win by a late field goal. No names cover. This Packers team, let me know in the comment section what you think of them, because they have me befuddled and puzzled. And some of you did call the Jets last week. Credit to y'all, but my goodness, the Packers' performance against the Jets was one of the worst I've seen this whole year. They deserve to lose by 20-plus points. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are -3. I got the Broncos to win in the cover. I'm digging this trench. I just think the Broncos are able to do something this game. They're not going to be able to do a lot. We know it's going to be an ugly football game. And I think the Broncos defense can rest a little bit. You're not getting Herbert. You're not getting Carr. You're getting Zach Wilson. And even though everything was working for the Jets in the second half, Zach Wilson was not good throwing the ball that game. He wasn't good in the first half. He wasn't good in the second half. I think the Broncos put bare fronts, 8 men in the box, and they make Zach Wilson throw it. And you saw what this Broncos defense could do last night. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be one to show the kids or the family. But I think the Broncos grind this ball game out. And the one positive Russell America Wilson showed last night, he could still ad-lib and he could still create a few plays. I expect a lot of field goals in this game, and the X factor of this game is, can the Broncos control Bryce Hall? It seems like every game he gets 1 or 2 gigantic plays that tilt the balance in the Jets' sphere. I don't think he gets as many this game. Give me the Broncos to win in the cover in the mile-high air. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are -7. Money. Raiders to win in the cover. It's risky. These aren't the fundamentals I like. Raiders -7. I'm not in love with it, but I am in love with this matchup for them. Yes, we know the Texans in the secondary. They have Petrie and Stingley, 2 of the youngest gunners in the secondary that I like. Sauce Gardner for the Jets is getting a lot of coverage and press, but these 2 have been absolute ballers in the Texans secondary. But listen, to beat and stop this Raiders offense, you have to rush them. If you're able to rush Carr, you can stop everything they want to do. Raiders coming in fresh off the bye week against the Texans D-line that only has Jerry Hughes. Give me the Raiders to throw it for over 350 yards. And you saw the last 2 weeks before the bye week, Raiders are getting the run game going. And against the Texans, you can run the ball. Now, the Texans are coming off a big victory at Jacksonville. And you got to give them credit. They're running the ball good, and Dougie Mills is managing the game. I just don't think their defense is going to be able to keep the Raiders to 6-7 points like they did the Jags. At the end of the day, the Raiders are going to be able to get this to 21, 24 points. I don't think the Texans can keep up. And also, I don't know if the Texans are going to be able to pound the Raiders like they did other teams. Raiders know it's coming. They know their season's on the line. Give me the Raiders to win in the cover. Make it a damn money pick. Fundamentals aren't great, but I think the Raiders win this game by 10 or more points. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -6.5. I got the Chargers to win in the cover. The Cardinals completely laid an egg against the Hawks. And you got to give the Hawks defense credit. They finally showed up. But I'm not betting on that. I believe Keenan Allen will be back. And when you get Mike Williams and Keenan Allen together, you're going to see a different type of Justin Herbert offense. Another thing I like in this game is, listen, the Chargers got the corners to match up with Metcalf and match up with Lockett. And you saw last week that what I've been saying all year, the Seahawks offensive line is really, really bad. When Arizona is dominating you up front, when you're pass blocking, what is Khalil Mack going to do? What is Stephen Day going to do? I think the Chargers get a good pass rush. I think they defend the pass good. I think the Chargers win this game by a touchdown. This isn't one to go run and bat because Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, they're pulling magic this year, guys. There's no other word for it. They're pulling magic. And there's just something you can't substitute for a bunch of dudes who go out there and give their all and play physical and play to the edge. That's what the Hawks are doing. That's why it's not a money pick. But give me the Chargers to win in the cover, -6.5. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Miami Dolphins. Steelers are +7 down in Miami. I got the Steelers to cover, Dolphins to win. This is one I might revisit as the week goes on. I understand. It's Mike McDaniel against Mike Tomlin. And when you think of Mike Tomlin, you think of what he pulled against the Buccaneers last week. You think of magic. You think of good defense. But I do think the Steelers have no chance to win this game. Tua's coming back, and you're going to see a different Dolphins offense. You're going to see a Dolphins offense with more explosion, more verb, staying on schedule. And you guys can have that debate about whether Tua should play football or not. The man's going to play football. Football's his life, and he's going to get it in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek the Thrill's hand. And I think that's the difference. And I'm not seeing this injury situation for the Steelers looking any better. This is why you have to watch my live call-in show on Friday. I might change my pick on this to Dolphins to win in the cover, because if the Steelers injury situation doesn't get better, I just think that I think the Finns take them to the cleaner and take them to the woodshed. Dolphins win, Steelers cover the +7 as of right now. Last game of the week, smash that like button. Monday Night Football, what a game we got. We got Chicago Bears, the Bears, at the New England Patriots. Bears are +8. You guys are going to hate me for this. I got the Bears to cover, Pats to win. I really like the Bears in this situation. If I didn't get burned like a college student catching clamp or chlamydia last week with the Patriots, this would be a money pick. It really would. I've been saying since the offseason, since the first week of the season, I think Bears might be the worst team in football if we're looking at a roster perspective. Am I wrong? Probably not, right? But they're able to grind games. They're able to keep games close. Eberflus is able to dial up good schemes on defense, and their defense just fights. There's been no give up yet. They haven't thrown in the towel. And I know everyone's getting excited about Stevenson for the Pats and Bailey Zappi. Listen, that was a good performance from the Patriots, but can we calm down a little bit? Did the Browns really bring their game? Did the Browns play good football? And I know the Bears aren't capable of very good football by any means, but I think last week you have to kind of forget about it, and you have to look at this week in a different type of box. I mean, that's one thing people get caught up in this league, looking at what happened last week and expecting it to happen again. I got the Bears to cover, Pats to win. I think the Pats are on upset watch. In the upset video, I'll give more details. Hit the like button, share the videos, the best gambling show on the internet. Thank you.